So from Motorhome Depot today, we've got a Rollerteam T590. Down here on the front, you've got your normal filler cap. This one's also got an AdBlue system on it as well, so you get a notification coming up on the dashboard when the AdBlue requires a top up. Underneath your passenger seat, you've got your vehicle toolkit. Underneath the carpet, you've got access to the engine battery, and on the end of the dashboard, your bonnet release. When we go under the bonnet, there's a little tab in the middle. Push up on that one, and that will then give you access to your screen wash, which is right over here on the left hand side, and then your fluids for your power steering, your brake fluid and your radiator. Oil filler cap just down the front, dipsticks just behind it, and should you ever need to jump start the vehicle, because of the position of the engine battery, there's a little lift up cover here, so the positive goes down onto that one with your jump leads, and the negative goes up into the middle onto that bolt just there. When we come round onto the driver's side of the vehicle, you've got a ventilation exhaust for the room heating, water heating system. If it's operating on gas, you might get a little bit of a condensation plume going around that. Next door to that, you've got a standard fresh water that takes the feed straight into an under seat 100 litre fresh water tank. Below that, there's a locker. Previous owners left some wedges in for you to use, and you'll notice this handle just here. This one's handle's pulled right out. That's the drain for the grey water. So all the water from your kitchen sink, from your shower tray, from your vanity unit, it's all going into one holding tank which is underslung. Pull that lever forward as it is now, and that allows the content of that grey water to discharge out. A little bit further back, we've got your mains lead. Always recommend that you plug into the side of the van first of all, and then connect up to the sight post that you're going to be using. And then when you want to leave the site, disconnect from the sight post and bring the cable back to the van, ready for your departure. So when you move around to the back, you've got your bike rails, which you can fold down, just release the clips. And then you've got individual bars then that can come out and go on to different sections of each individual bike. So 4 bars there for the 4 rails. Strap your wheel hubs in, and you're ready to go. If you don't want to use the bike rack, then carefully fold it back up, make sure that both the clips are in position, and you can go away from there. Directly below the bike rack, you've got your toilet cassette. So the flush water on these comes from the main inboard fresh water tank, so you just need to worry about the reservoir, the base cassette unit. Make sure the slider's shut properly inside the van. You should be able to pull up on the blue tab and slide the whole body of the cassette towards you. On a campsite, you have a collection point for these to go out on, so take off the blue cap altogether, tip it up into your receiver, press your airflow button at the top there, and that allows then the waste to discharge. Before you load it back in, we recommend up here in the Highlands that you use the green chemical, so that can come as a liquid, a sachet or a pod. The requisite dose in there, mixed with about 2 litres of water. Give it a little swirl around, and it's then ready to load back in and for use. There's a storage locker just in here. That's got the ladder in it for the drop-down bed, and you've got some toilet chemicals in there. Previous owners left in the silver screens, so they go into the cab windows to give you some insulation and some privacy at night. For the awning, put the hook through the eye and wind the awning out. These are sunshades, so in wet or windy conditions, they need to be folded away. If they inadvertently go away damp, then on a nice blue sky day today, get them out and get them dried off, otherwise they can start to smell. At each end of the awning, you have a helmet leg. So pull the leg out at the end first of all, wind it down, undo your little butterfly nut, and let the lower part of the leg slip down like so, and the same at the other end. Full projection on this is about 2.5 meters. You'll notice though that these arms don't lock out dead straight, they always remain in a slight double leg position. When it comes to putting it away, everything in reverse. So fold your leg up, make sure that the foot is flat against the helmet, and then squeeze in from that end and tighten the leg off. And the same at the other end. hold it back in, fold the foot over so that it's flat against the pelmet, and then tighten it into there as well. Do require a little bit of maintenance sometimes with the aluminium joints, with a little bit of grease around some of these aluminium joints can stop them from seizing and from sticking. And then wind the awning back in. So as we move down the side of the van, you've got ventilation for the fridge, nothing to required on those, it's a 12-volt fridge. Moving further down, you've got mains power socket, so you've got the awning out, potentially you can bring a main supply into that cavity, into that space. And last but not least, you've got your gas bottle in here. So previous owners opted for one single 15 kilogram bottle. Turn your gas on and off on the brass nut on top. So turn it clockwise to turn the gas supply off, turn it anti-clockwise to turn the gas supply on. That feeds through your regulator. More likely than not, this will be in the vertical position, so it's then driving the gas through. Left in here are a mains lead and some additional water filling and waste disposal pipes as well. Up above the habitation door. Turn 12-volt supply on, you will need to press in on this symbol. Immediately you'll see this go to amber. And because we're currently plugged into the mains, you'll see a little mains plug symbol just there. You can monitor the condition of your engine battery and your habitation battery. You'll see there's two different levels because the setup on this one, the main system is only charging the habitation battery. And then you have one for the fresh water level indicator. You get a warning light flash up when the grey water supply needs to be emptied. 27 degrees inside this van today, nice warm day in the Highlands, and you've got a separate switch for your interior lights, separate switch for the outside awning light, and finally at the very top a switch for the water pump. With the water pump, I would recommend that it's used on demand at night time, or if you're going out during the day, make sure it's switched off so it stops the pump from running unnecessarily. So underneath the seat box behind the driver's seat, you've got your frost protection valve. We're going to edit in another video because there's a switch on the back of this one that you actually can't see when you operate it, but at the moment it's all set up ready to run. So we now want to go about setting up the water heater and making sure that we've got an adequate water supply within the van. So we've already shut the drain valve on the water heater. We've got an adequate supply of fresh water on board the tank, at least half a tank. Turn the water pump on and draw the cold water through first. This should come through almost instantaneously. Repeat with the shower and with the vanity unit as well, so you're getting all the airlock out. And then slowly bring the tap around so that you can purge and draw the water supply through for the water heater. Might take about 2 minutes or so for the water heater to fill up, all right, but you're aiming to get that continuous stream of water coming through. We've preheated this one, so that's why you're seeing some steam rising up out of the sink. Repeat with the hot water setting on the shower and with the vanity unit, and that should then guarantee that you've got adequate amount of water to start the water heating process. Trimmer water heater room heating system is a common unit amongst manufacturers. For its operation, depress in on the central black button and you'll see a clock display come up. Currently we're plugged in onto the mains, so you'll see this symbol occur here. Press on the dial again and you'll see a selection of characters come across the top, and you'll see that this one, the thermostat inside a vehicle, is showing flashing. Press on that one and you have the option of setting your temperature control up to a maximum of 30 degrees centigrade. Whilst it's trying to attain that temperature, this top symbol up here will also flash as well. Once it becomes solid, then it's an indication that it's reached that threshold. It's a similar story with the water heating system. So we go on to that thermostat symbol that's showing in the water ripples. Depress on that one and you have a choice of water heating settings. It can be put into an eco mode, which is about approximately 40 degrees centigrade, or it can be put into a hot mode, 60 degrees perhaps if you were taking a shower. You have the option of boosting the temperature periodically if that's required. Again, when you select that, you'll notice that the hot symbol on the top line starts to flash, indicating that the water hasn't reached that temperature setting as yet. Once that becomes solid, then you're there. You have a choice of utilities that you can access on this. This is the gas version, so the first one that will come up will be on there. If you're operating it on diesel, then it will use the word fuel instead. If you select on gas, then you're operating purely on a gas system, a 12-volt igniter, a 12-volt circulation fan, perhaps if the heating is being used, but otherwise it's a pure gas setup. You can change that setting to an electrical setup. Single spark at the top indicates that you're using a 900-watt electric element. Twin spark indicates that you're using approximately an 1800-watt electric element. That's going to be subject to the amount of amperage that's available for you to use on a campsite. There is a mix mode as well, where you can choose to use a combination of gas and electric, either on the lower electric setting or on the higher electric setting. It won't make the vehicle get any hotter, but it will obviously improve the performance and the rate that the vehicle gets warmer. There's a circulation fan. It's normally set in the eco mode, but again, if it's a cold day, you can increase it to a high mode and it will intensify the air circulation within the van. If we turn off the water heating and we turn off the room heating system, then you can come back over to the fan symbol on its own and you can actually use it just as a pure recirculation fan. It's not air conditioning, but it may be in conjunction with the roof lights or the windows being open. It'll improve the air circulation around the vehicle. You can speed control it by turning the dial up and down, and then switch it back off by turning it off. Clock setting, simple and straightforward. Access it, set it to the day, time, modes, and that's your clock set. If you use that setting, then you can also then set up a rudimentary timer. So tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning and going off at 8 o'clock at night, you can have your room heating system set up so that it cuts in at 18 degrees and your water heater coming in on its electric mode and the fan running in that setup, and then select on, and you'll see that symbol then. So all the time that it's within that time frame against the clock, you will have it operating in those modes. If you want to deselect it, just turn it off and you'll see that the symbols all disappear. Settings mode enables you to set up temperatures, the brightness of the control panel. You can also do resets on the panel as well. If you're not using the system, then press and hold on this one and you'll see an off word appear and it will system shut down. If there are any faults with the system, perhaps because the gas isn't switched on or the electric's not operational, you'll quite often see a triangle and a fault code. Follow your instruction manuals for that fault code to diagnose and perhaps clear the fault. We'll just turn it off now. Must be on the other side. Okay, fine, that's right. Yeah, just going to touch on. I'm literally just this is like a 3-second thing. It's not going to be very, very long.
Okay.
So all we've done here is just lifted off the cushion behind the passenger seat, just to show you the location of your leisure battery and to show you the position of the interior 12-volt fuse box supply. So these are regular blade fuses. There is a little tweezer set there if you need to pull out a fuse, and down the front of this box here you've got a menu indicating which fuse is connected to which circuit. When you move in underneath the forward facing rear seat and lift up the lid, you will see your access for your fresh water drain, and you'll see there are 2 taps levers in there. The lever at the top, if you pull up on that one, it will drop the water level from 100 litres down to a 20 litre, potentially a travel weight. If you pull the lower one, then it will drain the entire fresh water tank out, which you will need to do for winter storage. So this Rollerteam is fitted with a 12-volt refrigerator from Thetford. Very simple to operate. Bottom switch turns the appliance on and off, so hold on it for a couple of seconds, appliance goes off. Hold on it for a few seconds and the appliance goes on. Top button adjusts your thermostatic settings, so the more of these that are illuminated, the colder the fridge will become. It does run with a compressor, so if you find that a little bit too distracting at night, you can put it into a night mode and it will just reduce some of the volume from the compressor. but obviously won't intensify the chilling factor into the fridge. In the bathroom, you've got a classic Thetford toilet cassette. So there's a slight swivel bowl action onto it. Lift up your seat, pull the gate valve over so that you can let your waste go straight through. To flush the toilet, press down on the blue button. You'll need to have the water pump on the control panel to do that. As much or as little water as you need to go through. Just move the seat slightly out the way so that Claire can get in, but you've got a barrel gauge just at the back there, so this will gradually tip over from green to red, indicating that the waste tank needs to be emptied. So we've moved to the cupboard which is underneath the oven, and we've got our individual gas isolation taps. You've already got the gas supply switched on outside the bottle, then routed through this tree which feeds the individual appliances. This one over on the left hand side is your gas feed up to the hob. This one has actually been incorrectly labelled. It should be for the oven, all right? It's not for the fridge, but that's what that does. And then lastly, you've got one which goes to the gas feed for the water heating, room heating systems. If you turn them through 90 degrees, then it isolates the supply to that specific appliance. Next door to that, you've got your mains RCD box, so like a miniature version of your household mains fuse box. We're plugged into the van now, so there's mains coming through here, which is going to your 3-pin sockets and being distributed to the battery charger. You can lift up this switch. If you want to do a mains test to check to make sure that the main supply is coming into your van and it's safe for you to use, push it on this test switch and it should trip out, just like that. And you should be able to reset it to get the main supply restored. With the gas hob, the igniter is built into the valve, so if you push down on the valve and turn to the maximum flame position, you should get your flame coming through. Hold them down for a couple of seconds. If you've just changed over a gas bottle, purge the gas through on the hob first of all. It'll make all the other appliances that much easier to light up thereafter. Worth noting, these don't have a shut off on them, so if this is pulled down over the flame, it will continue to burn, it will pop the glass. So make sure the gas supply is switched off, let this area cool down before you fold the glass down on top. So that's the handover for this Rollerteam 590. Certainly hope this van's going to give you lots of adventures. We're always on hand if you need some more advice. Thank you very much for watching.